This is Miller's Pond in Southampton, where we're undertaking a lake restoration project on this important urban wetland. The aims of the project are to improve the ecology and biodiversity of the lake, to improve the aesthetics of the site and enhance the overall appeal for wildlife and the wider public. We'll be dredging the lake to improve the access for angling and for the removal of non-native species. The stages of the project will involve major tree works to open up the pond and allow more light into the marginal areas. Secondly, we'll be employing an amphibious excavator to dredge the lake and create niche marginal habitat zones around the perimeter of the pond. Thirdly, the Environment Agency will be removing the non-native fish species and replacing them with a more indigenous population. The finished project will deliver an enhanced and enriched wetland habitat, which will benefit wildlife, anglers and the wider public. During the second phase of the project, we used an amphibious excavator to de-silt the pond. The sediment was placed behind the island, which we secured with a knicker span revetment to help the silt de-water and dry. The use of an amphibious excavator is an excellent tool for working in unique and challenging environments where it's difficult or impossible to drain all the water. This can also save time and reduce the impact on wildlife and the environment. The dredging process was twofold. Firstly, we used a cutter suction dredge pump, which allowed us to pump the silt from the bottom of the lake without draining all the water out. The second phase, we used the excavator's bucket. This enabled us to dredge the silt, but also dredge invasive vegetation such as yellow water lily and other plant species that were growing around the pond. We were also able to remove snags and other debris that had built up. We're at the end of the project here at Miller's Pond and we're really happy with the outcome. We've dredged nearly 1,000 cubic metres of silt which has been placed behind the island to create additional habitat. This has opened up the depth of the water in the pond now to over 1 metre in certain areas. It's also meant we've been able to clear overgrown and redundant areas of the pond which have really opened up the vista of the pond and the aspect, making it a more welcoming place for people and wildlife. An additional element to the project, which was added after the works had started, was the inclusion of a wetland pond scrape at the northern end of the site. The benefit of the additional wetland scrape was that it provided a different type of wetland habitat to the main area of pond. This further promotes biodiversity within the wider Miller's Pond Local Nature Reserve site. The sympathetic removal of invasive tree species has not only increased the amount of light that enters the pond area, but has also enhanced the visual appeal of the whole site. We're here in March and already things are starting to grow. We're really excited about the future of Miller's Pond and can't wait to see how things develop later on in the year.